Hi, I'm Lance Lambert. Thanks for tuning in to the Vintage Vehicle Show. We are in Gardena, California at the Mike Terry Collection. This is another great collection of great cars. You're going to get a chance to take a close look at these cars, and you're going to meet Mike Terry. Mike, come on in here. How you doing?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Sure.
Thanks for inviting us out. This is very impressive. So,
well, thank you.
How did this all come about?
Well, I've been a car nut since I was 2 years old, and started like that.
What were you doing the first 2 years? What was the problem there?
I don't know. I started collecting cars when I was about 19, and I had one, and then you get a second one and a third one, and blah 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 blah. Now I've got a whole. You could see it.
Right. Well, this is a recent acquisition, this space, right?
Yes.
Okay. You had them spread all over the place, and
2 here, 4 there, 6 here. It was terrible.
Any theme going on in here, or just what flipped your switch the day you saw any particular car?
Theme Cadillacs.
You like those Cadillacs?
Cadillacs, gotta have those.
Yeah. Mike, a beautiful 1953 Cadillac. Tell us about this car.
Coupe DeVille. I bought this last January at Barrett Jackson, and I love it. Finally, it's done, set to go. Love it. It's leaking oil, though, now.
They all leak oil.
That shouldn't have happened, but it is. But the, car is awesome. Starts well and sounds like a 53 should. It's an awesome car.
Coupe DeVille, so this is kind of the sporty hardtop.
Yep. The interior is one like I've never seen. It's as accurate as you could ever get. Let's see, what else can I tell you about this car? It's artesian ochre, which is my favorite 53 color. It was for the Eldorado exclusively, and sometime they made one of the other ones, in that same shade, and I love the car.
Your love of Cadillacs, did that start back when you were 2, or when
I was
Cadillac?
2, yeah,
okay.
2, yeah. My dad said that I loved them. I was in love with them. I don't know why. It's crazy.
And everything in here seems to be 50s or...
Basically 50s. There's 40s here also, 48 there.
Your feeling about Cadillacs, they're such a classy car. They're such a statement about the 50s, and we have a Cadillac thing. We are doing well. Do you still find, when you go to car shows, do you find that there's still kind of that feeling? It's like, oh, this is a Cadillac. Hey, that 53 Chev over there is pretty cool, but this is a Cadillac. This is special.
I feel there is, but everybody else doesn't. Chevys are the hot thing now.
Right.
But this is still what I love. And you don't see these too often either.
Of course, this is a luxury car for its time, but which motor did you get in this? And of course, it's the automatic.
It's automatic. It's the standard V8 that they had. They were all the same. Again, the interior was the reason why I, bought this car. Interior is awesome. Because
the leather in there, or
leather
the
and
classy...
everything, fabric, it's accurate. It's duplicated. Exactly.
Well, this is a sporty Cadillac, a 53 hardtop, but you have over in the corner more of a conservative, maybe somebody wearing their fedora and smoking a cigar. Let's go take a look at that.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Mike, we had the sexy Coupe DeVille over there, the two-door hardtop. Here we have a much more conservative four-door sedan. What do we have here?
This is a 1948 Cadillac Series 62 sedan. The interior is original, and I'm a nut for that. Most of these, cars here have original interiors, and they're unbelievable.
Within the hobby, the change that I'm sure you've seen recently is if you had a car that wasn't just right, tons of money would be thrown at it to restore it and sometimes over-restore it. Now it seems to be just, more of survivor cars. Leave them the way they are.
Yes.
So you have the interior.
Yes.
Yeah. How did this come into your collection?
I bought this car about 10 years ago from a guy in Wisconsin, and I saw the ad, and we dickered and finally, I came to the deal and got the car. But I love it. The color is Lucerne green.
You mentioned off camera that you do some stuff with Barrett Jackson, and then you found this on the net, you say?
This was found in the Hemmings, I think.
Okay.
In the Hemmings book.
Do you find any better deals online, better deals at auctions, better deals with ads in magazines? Any trend you're seeing? And
some of each. I like auctions though, because you could, you know, see the car, feel the car, touch the car.
Yeah. And this one appealed to you just because it fits your Cadillac?
Yes. Color, the interior.
What's the best thing about driving this?
It just feels good. Feels good. It's, you know, quiet. Whisper quiet.
My favorite car in high school that I owned was a 54 Olds, two-door hardtop, 88, lowered 3 inches, chrome wheels, black. This is the upscale version of that. This is a 98 four-door sedan. Tell us about this car.
Okay, this is a 1954 Olds 98 sedan. This is a 100-point vehicle. Body off, frame off, rotisserie. This car is awesome. I don't even like sitting in it. It's the finest car that I have, and I don't know why I even have the car, because I'm scared to, you know, drive it.
When you say rotisserie, this was actually put on a rotisserie and spun as they restore it, so you get everything right.
And if you look at the interior on this car, it's sickening. I mean, it's crazy.
It's so nice.
Somebody spent a lot of money for this, not I. I bought this car right.
Do people recognize the quality of the restoration?
Sure they do. Sure, yes, absolutely.
When you have your cars in various car shows, do you find you know, certain cars people go crazy for and certain cars less so, and there's a car we're working our way towards here that's my favorite in the whole collection, but it's probably one of the more affordable cars in the group, but it just flips my switch. Do you find people coming up and, oh, I had one of those in high school, or I dated my wife in one of those?
All the time, sure, all the time. My dad had that, or, you know, so forth.
A 1948 Chrysler Town Country. This is a classy car.
This is my favorite car here, even though it's a non-Cadillac. I hate saying that. I've wanted this car all my life, and in this, you know, color also. I think it's called Heather Green, and I love it. I just love this car. It's original. It's not really done over, you know, too much. It's original. It's just a fabulous car, and I've wanted it. Like I said, I've wanted it forever, and I got it, and I feel so lucky.
The wood, being a Woody, which was, this was probably, we're looking at the most expensive Chrysler that year, I would guess.
Absolutely, yes, sure.
And back in 1948, this was, the guy drove this to his yacht or to the country club or whatever.
I think this car was about $6,000 in 1948. That was a lot of money. Lots of money.
That was 4 or 5 Fords right
Cadillac was half of that. Or almost half of that.
How's when I see one of these, I think maintenance, man, you got a big maintenance issue here. How do you keep this up?
It's not too bad.
Is it just, you treat it like
normal
it's furniture?
And normal maintenance, yeah.
Special wax, special whatever?
Nothing special, no.
Do you get out in your collection here? Do you take them out very often? Or?
I take each car now and then, yes.
And when you drive this into the 7-Eleven or
I don't take it to the 7-Eleven.
Okay. Or wherever you do take it, do the C's part when you come in because it's a Woody and a convertible?
Sometimes, yes. It depends who's there. Some guys will see this car and go gaga. Some guys will see the car and not even, you know.
Not get it. Is there a demographic to it? If you see a 60-year-old guy, he's going to go nut. If you see a 16-year-old guy, he doesn't pay any attention, or does it seem to appeal to everybody?
That's exactly correct. The 60-year-old guy. The 16-year-old guy, forget it. He's not interested in this.
Yeah, just some old thing.
Some old thing, right.
The hobby, what have you noticed as far as the changing style? Of course, we've had the rat rods come on the scene in the last 10 years or so, and the tuner cars, and our demographic still is loyal to this kind of stuff. Well, what do you see within the hobby in the next 10 to 20 years?
Well, younger kids like fast cars, you know, sports cars, Camaros, Mustangs, Shelbys. They like that. Us older guys, we like these.
And then, but you cover all your bases here. You got a Mustang hit
Yes,
over
I
the
do.
corner, and
Yes,
you
I
have
do.
this.
You know, Camaro also. I like them all.
Beautiful 48 Chrysler Town Country over there with the wood. That's what made that car really distinctive, a convertible. Here we have another 48 Chrysler. No wood on this, but what makes this one special?
A Highlander interior, very rare, and knockout. Beautiful. This is a knockout car. Impossible to, you know, find one of these. You won't find one.
Highlander, meaning that we have, I don't know if that looks like
It's
kilts or what
plaid,
in there.
Kilt, yeah, yes, that's exactly right. Beautiful car.
That's something that is real. Nobody else was doing that kind of thing
Nobody
in
else
48.
was doing it. Nope.
It basically looks like a picnic blanket, but it's ended up being real
It does.
classy
That's
in
a
this
good
car.
idea there. Yeah, it looks good with the burgundy leather too.
Have you done any research where you've learned anything about how the public reacted to an interior that was so different than everything else?
Well, they reacted well. They didn't sell too much of it because it was expensive. It was extra cost. So it didn't sell so well. But the public loved it though. And now collectors like myself, we really love it when you could find it.
So you have a fancy picnic blanket mixed with leather in there,
Exactly,
and the two together, it's pretty amazing.
Yes, beautiful interior.
Kind of the same question I asked with the reaction to the wood, but when you take this out and display it, do the people that appreciate this car enough to single it out for a close look, do they know about the Highlander interior, or do they have one or two reactions? One, I wonder why he put that kind of interior in it, or this, you know, this couldn't be the way they made it at the factory, or they figured it out, they know.
Most people don't know about the interior, but they love this car. This maroon or burgundy, everybody loves this. I don't know why, but they all do. A lot of comments on it, more than the other one.
It's a classy color.
Yep, it's a nice car.
I realize that there is a lot of cars in this collection that are a lot sexier than this one, but this is the one that flips my switch. Even though it's a station wagon, well, because it's a station wagon, it's very utilitarian, but it's
I love
a
them
Buick.
too. I love them too. This car is awesome. What'd you say the color was? Seafoam?
I believe this is seafoam green.
I believe.
At least
believe
the
it is.
lower
I
part,
believe it is.
seafoam green.
It's a 54.
54 Buick.
Buick special.
You
Very
obviously
rare,
appreciate.
Very rare, yes. I appreciate it, yes, yes.
What
so
do you
much.
think about station wagons within the hobby?
I love them. Oh, they're coming up now, getting expensive. I found this at Barrett Jackson also. I'm trying to think. I think about 5 years ago.
That brings up an interesting point. Over the last 5 years, Barrett Jackson has been, I don't think people would argue with, they're pretty much the leader in collector car auctions.
Well, in volume they are,
yeah,
sure.
And they went from when the muscle car phase was strong to where it just was totally out of control, and now it's kind of being corrected for the market.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And when Barrett Jackson, people think of those kind of cars, I don't think people think of a 54 Buick
Special. They don't think of this,
wagon
no.
at Barrett
But
Jackson.
5 years ago, they had these, you know, kinds of cars there. The last auction in January, they didn't have these.
We touched earlier on different ways of buying cars, but your experience at auctions, do you find that there's bargains to be had there? If you're
Sure,
paying
there are. Oh,
attention?
sure. Oh, sure. Sometimes. Sure. Absolutely.
Well, do you have a technique that you use?
No,
no, you
not
just
really. If I want a certain, you know, vehicle, I'll say to myself, well, I'll give so much, you know, for that. After it's over that, you know.
So you go into
That's
it.
it.
You go into it knowing what your ceiling is,
Sure,
and once
sure.
you hit it.
Yes. Usually, I'll go over it, you know, somewhat, but.
And
you know.
what do you think about at the auctions, the various people that are working there, the guys out on the floor that are
The hustlers.
The hustlers that are
Yeah.
patting you on the back and
Yeah.
trying to get you to come up another grand or so.
They're full of hot air.
Yeah.
They're all liars.
Yeah.
But hey, it's a business. To them, it's dollars, you know.
My limited experience bidding at a car auction and winning was one time, and soon as they singled me out and started that routine on me.
They saw the sucker.
Well, they saw
had
the
their
sucker,
sucker.
but this sucker had a ceiling, and as soon as they started in on me, I dropped my ceiling.
Oh.
I just thought, I don't do that to me. Okay, I'm only going to pay this much now. And when it got to this much, my hand was the only one still in the air, so I ended up with it anyway.
That's good.
Do you ever
Good psych.
Do you ever have fun using this as a station wagon? Do you ever flop the back seat down and go out and pick up your new chrome bumper for one of your other cars?
One or two times I did, but usually no. You don't want to do that with these nice cars.
Yeah.
Get ready, get set, 'cause you ain't heard nothing yet. Raise the roof and shake the floor. Rock like you never before. Here's the house rockin', yeah, you bet, 'cause you ain't heard nothing yet. Rockin' to the rhythm, man, it's really living. Rock back to the rhythm and blues. Roll up the rocks, we can shake our shoes. Rattle the roof like a phantom jet, 'cause you ain't heard nothing yet. Get ready, get set, 'cause you ain't heard nothing yet. Raise the roof and shake the floor. Pop like you never before. Here's the house rockin', yeah, you bet, but you ain't heard nothing yet. Rockin' to the rhythm.
When I was growing up, one of my favorite television shows was the Ozzie and Harriet show. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Ozzie and Harriet and Ricky and David's Pontiac station wagon. This was the car that belonged to them that was on the show. Amazing. How did this come into your collection?
It's in 1956, and they used it in the show for about a year. Barrett Jackson, again, I bought it about 5-6 years ago. And I probably bought the car because it has factory air, which is ridiculous. You'll never see that.
In a
In a
56
Pontiac,
wagon.
right. Factory air conditioning, and it's ice cold and it's awesome.
How much value do you think is added to a car because of celebrity status? Or of course it depends on the celebrity,
It
but
could be from $5,000 to $10,000.
okay. Or,
And the air conditioning also could add $5,000, easily $5,000.
have you dug up a bunch of old episodes of Ozzie and Harriet and tried to find this? in
I've
it?
looked for them, yes I have. I have not, found one with the car.
Well, I was a proud member. I shouldn't admit these things, but I was a member of the Ricky Nelson fan club back in those days.
A lot of people were.
Yeah, so I'm sure that I was a card-carrying, autograph picture member of it. I just love that show, everything about it. Another station wagon, another utilitarian
Another station
vehicle.
wagon, yes, yes.
Somehow fits with the Ozzie and Harriet good family image.
It sure does. You're right about that. It's a nice car.
When they did it with the Safaris on these, of course the Nomads on the Chevrolets, when they eliminated 2 of the doors and made them sexy and sleek and more hot roddy looking, they looked great, but they had a hard time selling them.
You're right. People wanted 4 doors. Utilitarian.
Right. You bought a wagon, you
Yeah,
wanted to
2
use it
doors
as a
were,
wagon.
you know, tougher in and out. 4 door is what you should have in a station wagon.
I think that station wagons are going to continue going up in value. Of course, the hard tops and the convertibles are here.
Sure.
And as it rises, do you think it's going to get closer with the station wagons getting closer and closer to the value of the sexier models?
Yes, I think so, yes. I see it happening now.
Why do you think that happened? Why do you think that change is happening?
I don't know. People just started liking them again. For years, nobody would give you a nickel for this car.
That's right. And then now it takes a whole lot of nickels.
Now it
doesn't
takes a whole bag of nickels.
Yeah, you fill that back in with them.
Sure.
We had Ozzie and Harriet's car over here. They're utilitarian, nice but 4-door utilitarian station wagon. Here we have the famous 57 Chev Nomad station wagon. 2 doors, lots of sex appeal. Maybe not the first car that people went and got bags of manure and threw in the back.
Not exactly. This is a car that I love. I've had it for many years, and it's well optioned. It's got everything on it: factory air, electric, windows, everything. And you can't find one like this anywhere. I've had it for years, and people ask me to, buy it all the time. Please sell it to me, please. The answer is always no.
I have a feeling if something comes across your path with air conditioning, you never let it go.
You're probably right. I'm an air conditioning nut, interior nut.
They did make Nomads, some people don't know this, they did make Nomads in 58 and I think 59, but all they were was a badge on a 4-door
There's
station.
a badge on a 4-door station.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Yeah, they did have them.
Mm-hmm.
Right, not the same as this. No.
Right. I guess the market told them that they couldn't make enough of these to make a profit.
Exactly right. They made about $3,500 a year in 55, 6, and 7, and that's all.
The market that they were going for back then was what? The well-heeled younger couple? Who do you think they were shooting for on
That's
this?
interesting. I think they were shooting for the country club set. This was like a second vehicle for you.
Yeah, well, nobody can argue with the fact that Nomads, 5, 6, and 7 Nomads are some of the coolest cars to come out of the 50s.
Coolest cars come out of the 50s, and they're really hot now, really hot.
Mike Terry, thank you very much for the opportunity to see your collection. It was very impressive.
I want to tell you something. Thank you. This was more fun than I've had in years. Thank you. Let's do this again someday.
Okay, well, I think we can arrange that.
This is a lot of fun.
And I'm about to have a lot of fun driving this 65 Fastback Mustang, so
Okay.
I'll try and get it back to you
Go
sometime
have
in the
fun.
next few days. All right,
There you
thanks,
go.
Mike. Bye-bye.
Sure. Bye-bye.